everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. Yeah, I'm in my local park and I'm going to do a quick jog around the park, and then I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go in my Neo Vista. So just to prove that I've got them on. Although I think I may have put a little video at the start of this with me walking in them, so you should have seen them anyway. But yeah, just going to go have a quick run around the park and then go to the gym to do some stretching. My legs are pretty wrecked at the moment, and I'm just hoping they'll start to feel better soon. So doing a light workout, and when I need cushion and protection, I call Neo Vista. You know, it's one of my favorite shoes, along with the Skyward X that I wore yesterday. So all these max cushion, you know, easy run, you know, lovely feeling foam shoes are coming back into play now that I've got the marathons out of the way. And Skyward X and Neo Vista definitely fall into that bracket. So anyway, we'll do some little run footage after this, so you can see how my trip to the gym went and the footage around the park. I'm sure you'll be absolutely thrilled. I'll give you my thoughts on the Neo Vista, which I haven't worn for a while, but I'm actually very looking forward to this one. Right, see you later. Bye bye. So obviously back in my local park, and got the Neo Vistas on, as I mentioned, and these are definitely one of my favourite shoes to run in. So those that know my channel know that I like max cushion fun shoes, and that's not just for racing. So for instance, I have the Prime X original, Prime X Strung and Prime X Strung 2, which I would consider fun shoes and shoes that you could race in, but not necessarily. And the Neo Vista kind of falls into that bracket as well, in the sense that it's a very fun shoe, lovely foam, supercritical EVA foam. It's got a nylon plate, so nice plate to run in. Well, nice balance of a shoe really, because you've got this nice foam and you've got this flexible plate, so you can actually do some proper toe offs without it feeling too rigid. Not something you can say about the Prime X2, where you pretty much, your toes aren't really doing anything. But you could argue the shoe leads you. It's not the case with the Neo Vista. You've got good control when you run in this shoe. I'm a 4-foot strike and I find it very stable. There's a huge canyon cut out at the bottom of this shoe. For those that have it, they'll know what I mean. A potential rock collector, although I'd argue it's probably too wide for many rocks. But what it also does is it splays when you land on your forefoot and gives you that tiny little bit of suction on the ground, which adds to the stability of the shoe, which I really like. There he goes. Good luck. That's my neighbour. Got a little boy who I think she has hard work with. Well, not really. I think she's fine. He's a lovely kid. It's just, you know what little boys are like. A lot of energy. Anyway. So, where was I? Yes, you get that little nice suction that adds to stability. I don't necessarily think the grip in this is one of the better grips actually. It's quite soft rubber. It was a break from tradition from Neo Vista when they came out with the Rave Rebellion and Rave Rebellion Pro 2 and the Flash. They had that really hard, tacky outsole that was really good at clinging to the surface, whereas this is a lot softer, and so it's not as grippy, but that little suction helps definitely. It's a softer rubber, so I think they've gone for comfort here over grip, really. And it is very comfortable shoe. It's a very, I mean, the grip's not, don't get me wrong, the grip's not terrible. It's not Super Blast terrible, the first version, but it's just not one of the better grips. But you've got such a wide platform that I think you do feel very stable in this shoe. I just wouldn't use it in icy weather. And you can't really say that of many road shoes anyway. You know, you're looking at trail shoes with Vibram rubber for that kind of weather, as I'll find out when I go up to Sheffield in Christmas, at Christmas time. So yeah, it's such a nice experience running in this shoe. It feels kind of springy and bouncy, just the right level, nothing ridiculous. You know, it's a very different shoe to the Skyward X, but I would say the ride is not dissimilar. You get a nice bounce, but it's not one that I would say throws you forward a hell of a lot, if you know what I mean. Not like the Prime X Strung. And what I really like about this shoe as well is the upper, the much maligned knit booty style upper, which so many reviewers decided it was no good based on the fact they don't like booty knit uppers and never gave it a chance. But I mean, the more I run in this, the more I realise how good an upper this is. Great lockdown, hugs the foot, really comfortable, don't really notice it. It's got a nice tab so you can cinch the laces, plastic tabs so you can cinch the laces on top of it without any bites at all. And all in all, it does what an upper needs to do. The only downside might be the heat, but this time of year you want it warm. So for the October and November time in the UK, it's going to be perfect. Just in the summer it gets a little bit hot, and that's the only downside. But the UK is seldom that hot. It makes it an issue anyway. The other thing I would say about this shoe is it's good for a huge variety of runs. Slow running, tempo runs, long runs where you need cushion to help you recover for the next day. I'm not a heel striker, and as I've mentioned a few times, they have a different experience. I can only tell you what it feels like from a forefoot perspective. When I try to go back on the heel on this, it feels a little bit more unstable, if I'm honest. Maybe a little bit mushy, but for me it really works. Oh, I got hit by a leaf. Could be worse. Anyway, yeah, so, and if you want to pick up the pace, which I'm not going to do because I'm tired, that's really good for acceleration as well. It's not a speed merchant by any means, but you can pick up the pace in this shoe in the same way you can with the Super Blast and the Balos and the Hoka Mach X2. The Hoka Mach X2 has been one of the reasons why I haven't been using this shoe as much recently, because I really like that shoe as well. But I would say this is definitely a more comfortable ride than that shoe. It's softer, but that is probably, well, it is a quicker shoe. And if I had to pick that or the Neo Vista to run a 10k or a 5k even, I pick the Hoka Mach X2. But if I had to pick one of them for a 20-mile run when my legs are feeling decidedly ropey, I would pick the Neo Vista every day of the week. There aren't many shoes that I would pick above the Neo Vista for that. And one potential one is the one I ran in yesterday for its 100-mile review with the Skyward X. And that would be a possibility to run a very nice 20-mile run and have a lot of cushion and support, just like this shoe. So yeah, now I'm going to the gym now, so I'll say goodbye, and I'll maybe do a bit of footage of me on the way to the gym and then give you some more thoughts. But yeah, Neo Vista, I love you. Probably didn't hear that. I love you, Neo Vista. Bye bye. Right, so I'm off to the gym for a little bit of stretching, foam rolling, that kind of thing. And my legs have been really beat up this week. Yeah, I ran a park run at the weekend, probably too hard, and I've been suffering this Monday and Tuesday now with sore calves in particular. So when my legs are feeling like this, I put on one of my favourite shoes, which is a Neo Vista from Mizuno. As you probably know, those that have been checking out my channel, it's a shoe that I love. So comfy, so bouncy. It's got a nylon plate that really works well because it means that the shoe's a bit flexible. Also, you've got this supercritical EVA foam. It's a really good foam. The Energy foam from Mizuno, which is really nice. It actually feels a bit like Peebo, to be honest, but it is supercritical EVA. That got confirmed by one of the Mizuno reps when they were talking to the doctors of running team. But yeah, it's a really good shoe actually. And at 149 or 59, I can't remember, I think £49, it's a decent price point for this kind of shoe. It's right up there with the Super Blast, which is, as you know, £50 more expensive than that. Right up there with the Hoka Hoka Mach X2. Again, another £20 more expensive than this shoe. So Mizuno have really built a really comfortable, fairly lightweight. I mean, it's 260. It's kind of similar ballpark to the shoes I mentioned. It's got a nice, really nice spring to the shoe. If you land on the forefoot even, like me, it's a little bit firmer, which is good really. I've heard that those that land on the heel, some people describe it as a bit mushy, a bit dead. But if you get up onto your toes and land on the forefoot, it comes to life, this shoe. It really does. It's a shoe that you can run slow in, but I see this more as a kind of tempo shoe, really. It's better to pick up the pace, it responds really well. It's got nice geometry, good for mid-foot and forefoot strikers. As with all the Mizuno shoes of late, they seem to be developing their shoes for kind of mid-foot strikers, and this is no exception. And midfoot is where the sweet spot is. But also forefoot's pretty good as well. I really like the upper as well, which a lot of people have maligned because they don't like this booty style knit uppers. But for me it works. I get good lockdown, no irritation, hardly even know it's there, to be honest. And they're the best uppers, the ones that you don't know is there, you know, are there at all. Protects my legs, provides the comfort I need, especially on days like this. I mean, last couple of days I've needed protection on my legs and cushioning, so Skyward X and now this, the Neo Vista, definitely shoes I would pick, along with the More V5 now that I've got more recently. It's another great shoe. If I was to compare this to those, definitely quicker than the More V5 and quicker, I think, than the Skyward X, lighter than both of those shoes, more versatile than both of those shoes. You can go quick in this shoe, you can go slow, you could run, you know, I've known people who've run 10k in this shoe, right? I see it more, I'm going to use this for racing, it's more kind of half marathon. If someone said to me tomorrow, you know, you're going to have to wear this for a marathon, it wouldn't faze me whatsoever. And I think it'd be quite nice. Wouldn't be getting a PB in it, but it'd be a nice experience, I think. Protect me well, and I could pick up the pace a little bit in this shoe. And that's what I think sets this shoe and Super Blast, Hoka Max 6 and possibly Skyward X, you know, away from the rest. That they're great training shoes, but you could also race in them. You know, you can have good turnover speed in them. They're light enough to race. I just think with Skyward X it would have to be a slow long distance race like an ultra or a marathon, as opposed to a half marathon, because it's just too heavy. Hopefully that all makes sense, and as usual, every step counts.